The truth doesn't care about your feelings, and neither does your bank account. Most of what you've been told about money is a lie designed to keep you comfortable, compliant, and broke. In this video, I'm giving you 7 brutal truths about money. No sugarcoating, no motivation, just reality. And if you're not ready to hear this, close the video now, because what I'm about to say will make you uncomfortable. And that's the point. Brutal truth number 1. No one is coming to save you. You've been waiting for someone to fix your life. Your parents, your boss, the government, a lottery win, a lucky break. It's not coming. The world doesn't owe you anything. Your degree doesn't guarantee success. Your hard work doesn't guarantee wealth. Your good intentions don't pay bills. You are alone in this. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start building. Most people waste decades waiting for rescue, waiting for permission, waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There is only now. And if you don't save yourself, no one will. Here's what people don't want to hear. You are responsible for where you are. Not your parents, not your education, not the economy. You. Every choice you've made has led you here. Every dollar you spent instead of invested. Every hour you wasted instead of built. Every excuse you made instead of executed. You are the common denominator in your life. And until you own that, nothing changes. Most people blame circumstances. They point to external factors, the system, the rich, bad luck. But blame is a prison. Responsibility is freedom. Because if it's your fault, you can fix it. If it's their fault, you're powerless. Choose power. Brutal truth number 2. Your degree is worthless without execution. You were told education equals success. Go to college, get a degree, get a good job, retire comfortably. That system is dead. A degree doesn't make you valuable. Execution does. Results do. The market doesn't care about your credentials. It cares about what you can deliver. I know people with PhDs who are broke, and I know high school dropouts who are millionaires. The difference? One group studied theory, the other built systems. One memorized, the other created. Education is important, but it's a tool, not a destination. If you're not applying what you learned, you wasted your time and money. Here's the harsh reality. The world is full of educated broke people. People with degrees, with certifications, with accolades. And they're stuck because they were taught to follow, not to lead, to comply, not to create, to get hired, not to hire. And now they're trapped in jobs they hate, making money that barely covers their lifestyle, wondering why the system lied to them. The system didn't lie. You just misunderstood the game. Education opens doors, but walking through them requires courage, execution, and risk. And most people have none of those. Brutal truth number 3. Fairness is a lie the broke tell themselves. Life isn't fair, money isn't fair, success isn't fair. Some people are born rich, some are born poor, some get opportunities handed to them, some have to claw their way up. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Complaining about fairness is a waste of energy. The rich don't care if it's fair. They just play the game better. While you're sitting there upset that someone else had an easier path, they're building. While you're crying about privilege, they're compounding. While you're demanding equality, they're creating leverage. Fairness is a distraction, a mental trap that keeps you stuck in victimhood. Let it go. Focus on what you can control. Your decisions, your discipline, your systems. The uncomfortable truth is this. The world rewards value, not effort. It doesn't matter how hard you work if you're working on the wrong things. It doesn't matter how fair you think you deserve to be treated. The market is indifferent. It pays for solutions, for results, for leverage. If you're not creating value, you're not getting paid. Period. And no amount of complaining will change that. You can spend your life demanding fairness, or you can spend it building wealth. You can't do both. Choose. Brutal truth number 4. Your friends are keeping you poor. Show me your 5 closest friends and I'll show you your future. If your circle is broke, you'll stay broke. If your circle is mediocre, you'll stay mediocre. Because proximity is programming. You become the average of the people you spend time with. Their beliefs become your beliefs. Their habits become your habits. Their ceiling becomes your ceiling. And most people are surrounded by the wrong people. Friends who mock ambition, family who discourage risk, colleagues who celebrate mediocrity. You think they're supporting you. They're holding you back. Not out of malice, out of fear. Because your success makes them uncomfortable. It exposes their lack of action, and they'd rather pull you down than rise with you. Here's what you need to hear. You will have to leave people behind. Not everyone is coming with you to the next level. Some will resist. Some will guilt trip you. Some will say you've changed. And they're right. You have changed. You've outgrown them. And that's okay. Loyalty to people who drain you is disloyalty to yourself. You don't owe anyone your stagnation. If your circle isn't challenging you, inspiring you, or building with you, find a new circle. This isn't about being cold. It's about being intentional. Your network is your net worth. And if your network is broke, so are you. Brutal truth number 5. Comfort is more expensive than discipline. Every comfortable choice you make today costs you tomorrow. Sleeping in instead of waking up early. Scrolling instead of building. Spending instead of investing. Comfort feels free in the moment, but it compounds into regret. Discipline, on the other hand, feels expensive. It requires sacrifice, delayed gratification, saying no when everyone else says yes. But discipline buys freedom. Comfort buys bondage. Most people choose comfort because it's easy. They optimize for the present, for instant relief, for short-term pleasure, and they pay for it for decades. They stay in jobs they hate because quitting is uncomfortable. They stay in debt because budgeting is uncomfortable. They stay broke because building wealth is uncomfortable. And they wonder why nothing changes. Here's the truth. Comfort is a slow death. It's the enemy of growth, of progress, of wealth. Every time you choose comfort, you're choosing to stay where you are. And where you are is probably not where you want to be. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's not sexy, it's not fun, but it works. And the beautiful thing about discipline is this: it gets easier. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. What feels impossible today becomes automatic tomorrow. But you have to start. You have to choose the hard path, because the hard path leads to an easy life, and the easy path leads to a hard life. Brutal truth number 6. You're one decision away from everything changing. Your entire life can shift in a single moment. One decision, one commitment, one action. But most people never make that decision. They think about it. They plan for it. They wait for the perfect moment. And they die with their dreams still inside them. Because making that decision is terrifying. It requires burning boats, closing doors, betting on yourself. What if you fail? What if people laugh? What if it doesn't work? Here's the real question. What if it does? What if that decision you've been avoiding is the one that changes everything? What if the life you want is on the other side of that fear? Most people live in the gap. The gap between who they are and who they could be. Between where they are and where they want to be. And they stay there forever, paralyzed by indecision, stuck in analysis, waiting for certainty that will never come. But here's the truth. There is no certainty. There's only commitment. You make the decision, and then you make it right. You don't wait for clarity. You create it through action. The decision you're avoiding right now, the one that makes your stomach turn, that's probably the one you need to make. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Decide. Today. Now. because everything you want is on the other side of that decision. Brutal truth number 7. Most people will stay broke, and that's just reality. Not because they can't build wealth, but because they won't. They won't do the work. They won't make the sacrifices. They won't delay gratification. They won't take the risks. They'll read this. They'll nod along. They'll feel motivated for a day, and then they'll go right back to their old patterns. Because change is hard, and most people choose familiar pain over uncertain growth. They'll complain about being broke while spending money on things they don't need. They'll say they want financial freedom while staying in jobs that drain them. They'll talk about building wealth while binge-watching Netflix every night. And they'll convince themselves they're trying. But trying isn't building. Intention isn't execution. Wanting isn't doing. Here's the uncomfortable part. You're probably one of them. Statistically, you are. Most people who watch this video will do nothing with it. They'll consume it like entertainment, feel a temporary spark, and move on. They'll go back to scrolling, back to complaining, back to waiting. And in 5 years, they'll be in the exact same place wondering why nothing changed. But it doesn't have to be you. You can be the exception, the outlier, the one who actually takes action. But it requires something most people don't have: the willingness to be uncomfortable, to be misunderstood, to be alone, to delay, to sacrifice, to build. Are you willing? Or are you just another person who consumes content and does nothing? Let me leave you with this. These 7 truths aren't meant to discourage you. They're meant to wake you up. Because the world doesn't need more comfortable people. It needs builders, risk-takers, people who see reality clearly and act anyway. You now know the truth. You know no one is coming to save you. You know your degree doesn't guarantee success. You know fairness doesn't exist. You know your circle might be holding you back. You know comfort is a trap. You know you're one decision away. And you know most people will stay broke. The question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to make excuses? Or are you going to make moves? Because knowing changes nothing. Doing changes everything. Next week, I'll show you why smart people stay poor and how to break the cycle. If you got value from this, subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear these truths. And remember, the truth doesn't care about your feelings, but it will set you free. Welcome to Wealth Systems.